Are you looking for new survival games? Then don't worry, we've got you covered. We will highlight a few survival games that you should keep an eye on in this list. Let us start with Number 10. I Am Future. Only the very tops of the tallest skyscrapers will be visible when the earth falls and the waters rise. Surprisingly, this is where you end up. But don't worry. With your technology, via your upgradable cyborg hand, you'll be able to begin rebuilding the world from your rooftop. What possibly could go wrong? Begin small, then build yourself a home that you'll be proud of. Just be cautious, you are not alone on the planet, and when night falls, so do the terrors. But if you're smart and build and defend properly, you might just be able to rebuild the entire world. Or, at the very least, enough for you to enjoy. Number 9. V Rising. V Rising is a unique game. Rather than being a human survival game, this throws players into the role of a vampire. In this game, players are awoken from centuries of slumber. Weak and in need of blood, you embark on a journey to gather easy prey before you can rebuild your castle. Being a vampire, on the other hand, entails hiding in the shadows during the day and thriving in the open at night. This upcoming title will also be available for online play, with players teaming up to conquer the land over humanity or fight for territory and goods. Number 8. Little Devil Inside. From a visual standpoint, Little Devil Inside will most likely grab your attention right away. It's a distinct-looking 3D action-adventure survival game from indie developer NeoStream. Overall, the game tasks players with tracking down and eliminating creatures that lurk in the world. According to the developers, Little Devil Inside uses the same mechanics as the Harvest Moon games. The player's job is to hunt down creatures, and you're watching their daily lives unfold. Little Devil Inside appears to be a survival game with plenty of survival elements, from going on missions to gathering resources to enjoying the weekend. To stay alive, you'll have to endure harsh weather, fish, and cook to keep your vitals up. Number 7. Nightingale. Most survival games deal with the crisis of being trapped on a dangerous world, but in Nightingale, you're trapped in a mysterious and perilous realm, and the only way out is to find the heavenly portal to Nightingale. But be warned, you are not alone on this plane of existence, and not just because monsters exist here. But there are other players in this shared universe game, and they, too, want to get out. If you want, you can build a life in the realm, or you can find cards that will transport you to other planes of existence. The decision is yours. Number 6. Dead Matter. Dead Matter has a lengthy history. Unfortunately, several delays and crowdfunding campaigns have occurred in order to get this title online. Fortunately, it appears that this game will at least leave alpha and enter early access by 2021. For those of you who haven't heard of Dead Matter, it's a new open-world survival horror game. Players will be dropped into a post-apocalyptic world overrun with zombies. Meanwhile, players must scavenge for items and seek shelter. It's a mashup of video games you've probably played before, such as Escape from Tarkov and DayZ. Working with other players or fighting hostile players for resources is a big part of the game. Quantum Integrity Software, the creators of this game, are also working on a game that focuses on customization. There are plans to add full modding support to the Steam Workshop, so other players may be able to lend a hand in creating something unique for Dead Matter when it finally launches. Number 5. Occupy Mars, the game. Occupy Mars is a survival simulation game. As the title suggests, players are thrown onto Mars, where the goal is, basically, to sustain life. This is accomplished in a variety of ways. First, you'll need to gather enough resources to construct various structures, and then you'll need to ensure there's enough power to keep the various places built online. Mining for goods and building solar panels to get power is a mix of simulation and strategic gameplay. It may not be for everyone, but it is for those who enjoy the wonders of space and fantasize about what life might be like once we begin to colonize the planet. Occupy Mars, the game may be worth picking up. Number 4. Forever Skies. Forever Skies is a highly detailed game, and the fact that it takes place in the ruins of a city destroyed by the elements only adds to the visuals. In terms of gameplay, the way your character uses a gadget to break things down to use as raw materials reminds us of Subnautica. According to the trailer, it can even be used to stabilize structures. It's an interesting concept, but we'll need to see more to get a better understanding of the game. Number 3. The Day Before. Honestly, this game deserves to be at the top of the list, but the longer it is delayed, the more we wonder if it will ever be released. It was originally scheduled to be released on June 21st, but it has now been pushed back to March 1st of next year. These are some serious red flags that everyone should be aware of. In terms of gameplay, it appears to be a cross between The Division and The Last of Us. It looks and feels great, but until we have more assurance that this game isn't in trouble, we'll keep it at tempered enthusiasm. Number 2. Frostpunk 2. Frostpunk provided players with a challenging strategy game, in which they attempted to build a city in a harsh never-ending winter. Players in the game had limited resources, and a group of survivors to please. Every decision you made was critical. A sequel is in the works, but we're not sure when we'll be able to get our hands on it. Frostpunk 2 will immerse players once more in the world's frigid storm. However, unlike the first game, which was based on a coal system to heat and power the city, the upcoming game is all about oil extraction. As a result, players can anticipate another challenging strategy city builder experience. Furthermore, you can anticipate a slew of critical decisions that will either flood the city with precious resources or turn the citizens against you, resulting in your quick execution. Number 1. Sons of the Forest. The Forest was a survival game in which players were trapped in the woods, and had to find a way out. The game's appeal stemmed from a combination of survival, and the constant threat of hostile enemies. This title is still being discovered by players today. Sons of the Forest is a new sequel in the works. Players appear to be returning to the woods in order to hunt down the supernatural elements that lurk there. So far, it appears that the emphasis is on survival, with the player required to gather various resources such as cutting down trees. This is in addition to the hostile enemies lurking in the woods. They'll be able to attack you and destroy your fortified base, which means all of your hard work may have to be redone before nightfall. These are the survival games that we think are worth looking at. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, and why not, subscribe to the channel.